Okay, let us start with the next class of Module 2 HR Analytics, right? We have already seen the first part of it, right? So we have already seen the process of it, the levels, right? So let us move on to the HR dashboard here, right? Uh, yeah. Now coming on to the HR dashboard is nothing but an advanced analytical tool which displays important HR metrics, right, using interactive data visualization. So it helps the HR department to improve all the functions or processes of the HR department. It may be recruitment, it may be performance management, it may be training and development, or it may be optimizing the workforce, right? It may be planning the workforce for the day. All these functions can be easily visualized, okay, using the HR dashboard. Now coming on to how it looks. Now this is how the HR dashboard looks in, right? If you could see here, the employee turnover 54%. So overall summary it has calculated and it has given 54%. Recruiting 78%, retention 66%, training and development 24%. So total performance is 57%. So here the same thing is depicted, okay, as in with the speedometer, right? So employee turnover, if it is at the danger level or excellent, so it is at the mid 54%. Recruiting, yes, it is good, right? Now retention, it is not that good, or maybe within an average, right? Then training and development, very low, right? So this is how the HR dashboard looks in, okay. One more HR dashboard I would like to show you all here. So if you could see here, employee cost over sales revenue. That means what is the cost of employee, that means salary paid to the employees, benefits given to the employees over the revenue generated from the sales, right? So if you could see here, the blue one, the dark blue is revenue and the light blue is the employee cost. So cost is very low when we speak about the say when we compare it to the sales revenue. Okay, the same thing here, employee gender split, female employees, male employees, employee status, part-time employees, full-time employees, internal promotion rate 34%, average employee tenure 5.7, right? Management to staff ratio, like this, everything is displayed in a dashboard. That is what we could speak about the HR dashboard. Now coming down to HR analytics framework, very, very important part when it comes to your examination, right? So here, first framework what we have is the LAMP framework. So businesses basically are starting to understand how analytics can improve their HR processes and ultimately help them improve their business. So HR analytics are people focused and can help HR in hiring, managing, supporting the people who will help the shape or who will help to shape the organization and make the organization grow by achieving its goal. So building an HR analytics framework, however, is the first step to being able to apply and use analytics in the organization's HR and DVL. So here, this particular framework is very, very important when if you want to use analytics in your HR and DVS. So there are several steps to take to begin and improve your HR analytics journey. So first step we could see here is what is given in your syllabus, the LAMP framework. Okay, this particular LAMP framework was given by Baudry and Ramstad in 2006. So LAMP framework is used in HR analytics, right? So letter LAMP stands for logic, analytics, measures, and process, right? So these are the four critical components of the measurement system that is being used in the analytics, which drives strategic change and organizational effectiveness. So please understand here LAMP, LAMP, in the sense logic, analytics, measures, and process. Now let us go in depth as to what this LAMP framework tells us. Okay, so this LAMP framework is usually used to the metaphor, and it is connected to a story that reflects in today's HR dilemma. Right, the story goes on like this. One evening, while strolling A man encountered an inebriated person diligently searching the sidewalk below a street lamp. So one evening, a particular person, a man was strolling, right? That time he encountered an inebriated person diligently searching the sidewalk below the street lamp. So the man asked, "Did you lose something?" Okay. The other person replied, "My car keys. I have been looking for them for an hour." The person replied. The man quickly scanned the entire area, spotting nothing. "Are you sure you lost them here?" This particular man who was strolling asked him. Then, "No, I lost them in the dark alley over there." That is what the other person who was searching for the keys replied. "If you have lost your keys in the dark alley, why don't you search over there?" The strolling man replied. Now, the other man who was searching the car keys told him, "Because this is where the light is." So here, if you could see here, in many ways, talent and organizational measurement systems are like the person looking for his keys or her keys where the light is, not where they are most likely to be found. So advancements in information technology often provide technical capabilities that surpass the ability of the decision science and process to use them properly. So if you could understand by this particular story, my dear students, basically the HRs go on for searching for the right people into where it is very much focused in the market, but basically they do not know where they may get the right people. Okay, so through analytics, they can identify which type of people are required, where you can get the right people, how can you minimize the cost. Everything is clearly specified through analytics. That is what they could say here. So the use of LAMP model with 4 components defined a more complete measurement system. So LAMP metaphor refers to talent and organizational measurement systems that reflect today's HR measurement dilemma, right? So the LAMP model shown in the figure next stands for logic, analytics, measures, and process. The 4 critical components. Now, if you could see here, this is the LAMP framework, right? So here, if you could see logic, analytics, then measure and process. LAMP. Okay. So here the logic. Now what this particular logic means, right? Logic is nothing but the right logic, that is rational talent. So this element basically search for vital connections. So without proper logic, it is impossible to know where to look for insights. So if you want to understand something, you need to have some logic behind it, right? So logic element of any measurement system provides the story behind the connections between the number and the effects and the outcome. Now when you have the correct logic, you can define the story behind the numbers, why this data has come in, what is the effect of that data, and what would be the outcomes of that particular data. If you do not have the logic itself, you cannot build that particular connection. For example, the connection between health, wellness, and the employee turnover. Or if you could take one particular thing here, connection between health and employee turnover. Okay, connection between performance and absenteeism, right? So logic model can be proposed to show how the high cost of employee separation in employee turnover is similar to inventory turnover, and gives a framework to strategically think beyond the turnover cost by considering performance and quality in order to optimize employee shortage and surpluses, and not just opt for eliminating them. Now here, if you could see, my dear students, the right logic, that is rational talent strategy. Now what this rational talent strategy mean? The competitive advantage, talent, and the pivot points, talent pivot points. So what type of talent are there in your organization? What type of talent you need to require in your organization? How are you going to use the talent for the competitive advantage of the organization? For everything, you need to have some logical thinking, or you need to have some logic. Okay, now coming down to the next one. Okay, so here next one is analytics. Okay, when we speak about analytics, it is nothing but using appropriate tools and techniques to transform data into rigorous and relevant insights. Now here, when we speak about logic, it is all about collecting the data. Okay, it is all about collecting the data based on some logic. If you are simply collecting the data without any logic, then it is of no use. So you need to have right logic for collecting the data. So coming down to analytics here, so it is nothing but when you collect the data, you're going to use the right tools and right techniques to transform data into rigorous and relevant insights. That is, you are going to use statistical analysis, you are going to use research design, etc., etc., etc. These tools will be used and you transform the data into rigorous and relevant insights. Okay. For example, understanding whether employee engagement causes higher work performance requires analysis beyond correlation that shows the association to be certain that the reason is not simply that better performers become more engaged. Okay, so here when you understand, so you have sort of particular data on employee engagement, right, and work performance, and you correlate those data and you identify whether employee engagement is, when you have employee engagement, does it lead to higher work performance? Now that is what you're going to identify by using appropriate tools, and that is nothing but called as analytics. Okay, before going forward, a small example for logic here. So beyond providing numbers that describe trends in demographics make up a job, improved logic might describe how demographic diversity affects innovation. Now what you're going to do is, in this logic, you're going to identify certain logic, you're going to identify the data which will prove to that particular logic, and you're going to see to it that what would be the outcome of it or what would be the effect of it, right? Now coming on to next, measures. It is nothing but creating accurate and verified numbers and indices calculated from data system to serve as input to the analytics, to avoid having garbage in, compromise even with appropriate and sophisticated analysis. Now when you speak about measure here, measure is nothing but you are going, after you have analyzed the entire thing, you're going to measure the accuracy and verify the numbers. Okay, so this element indicates getting the numbers right and is very appropriate in HR, as virtually every area of HR has many different measures. So factors such as employee turnover, performance, engagement, learning, and absence are not equally important everywhere, indicating that measurements like these should focus precisely on what matters. So logical ideas like some might be concerned about losing long tenure employees, others might focus on high performing employees, and still others may focus on employee turnover. So where external demand is greatest. So if turnover is a risk due to the loss of key capabilities, turnover rate should be strategized to distinguish employees with much needed skills from others. So if absence has more effect or most effect in the call centers with tight schedule, this should be very clear in how we measure absenteeism. Whether they are useful depend on the context and strategic objectives. So there are many ways to make HR measures more reliable and more process. Okay, so focusing on only measurement quality and lacking such on a context will not help improve decisions. So that's why logic elements of LAMP model must support good measurement. So each element depends on each other, right? So here when we speak about the next element, that is process, that is nothing but use the right communication channel, timing and technique to motivate decision makers to act on data insights. So for example here, reports about employee engagement are often delivered as soon as analysis is completed. So after the analysis, you are going to give the report about the employee engagement. but they become more impactful if they are delivered during business planning sessions. So whenever it is required, you are going to produce those reports. And if they show the relationship between engagement and specific focus outcomes like innovation, cost, speed, or whatever strategy of the business is, it is showing some relationship, you're going to immediately see to it that you implement whatever right measures you have identified. Okay, so process basically it signifies in making insights about motivating and actionable. So measurement affects decision and behavior, and those occur within the complex web of social structure, knowledge, framework, and organizational norms, cultural norms. So therefore, effective measurement system must fit within a change management process that reflects principles of learning and knowledge transfer. So HR measures and logic that supports them are part of the influence process. The initial step in effective measurement is to get managers to accept that HR analysis is possible and informative. Okay, so here basically when you are calculating the turnover cost, it reveals millions of dollars that can be saved with turnover reduction. Okay, so that's what we could say. It gives the insights of each and every process of HR. If it is used effectively, things will work out well. Now, coming down to a brief here, the L stands for right logic. That is collection of data based on right logic. After you collect the data, you go in for analyzing the entire data. You ask valid questions about that particular data. You go in for searching the information. You design and you use a lot of statistical tools and you derive at a particular outcome. Once that is big outcome is derived, you try to measure the validity or reliability of this analytics, whatever is being put forth. Okay, so here it will be valid and it will be valid and reliable when the delivery of it, when you deliver that particular calculations or outcomes, whatever is there, that sufficient data should be there with you. And whenever it is required, you try to go in for timely delivery of that particular data. Okay, you then you try to see to it that you become the data becomes very much reliable at that particular point of time. Okay, and readily things should be available. That is nothing but right measure. Okay, then coming down to next, that is process, right? So effective knowledge management, right? So process is you have to implement whatever is being measured, whatever is being analyzed, you have to implement it. So for that, effective knowledge management is required. You need to have right values, right culture, right influence in the organization to implement whatever is the change. Okay, so that's what we say the LAMP framework, right? So HR metrics and analytics should be the center of this. Okay, and that are the force for strategic change. So metrics and analytics are the two forces which brings in change in the organization. Okay, so that's what we say the LAMP framework. Okay, so here logic basically in very short form it is being given here. What are the vital connections? So you have to derive the data with proper logic. So it is impossible to know where to look for insights if you do not have proper logic. Measures getting the numbers right. The whatever you have analyzed should be reliable, should be valid. Okay, so you should get it right. So measures part of the LAMP model has received the greatest attention in the HR. So here, once you measure everything and that data is available with you, so whenever it is required, you can try to put it in your decision making. Okay, then analytics is nothing but finding answer in the data process. So logic is collection of the data, analytics is finding answers in the data process, measure is again identifying the right numbers, that is measuring whatever you have analyzed, and then finally the process is making the insights, motivating and bringing it to a actionable purpose. Okay, then coming down to next framework, that is HCM 21 framework. I hope this particular LAMP model is understood. Any confusion here in LAMP model, my dear students? You can reply in the chat box. Any confusion in the LAMP model? Yeah, Bharat Kolkar, do you have any confusion in the LAMP model? Is it clearly understood? Bharat, please unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. Yeah, have you understood this LAMP model?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes.
Any doubt here?
No, ma'am.
Ayushi? Ayushi?
Clear, ma'am.
Is it understood? Any confusions?
No, ma'am.
Are you sure?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you explain me the LAMP model in short? What is logic? Yeah, Ayushi, what is logic? Can anyone explain me what is logic? Yeah, students, write logic. What is logic? Can anyone explain me? Quick, we are running out of time. Padmaja? Padmaja, please unmute yourself. Padmaja Yadwad, please unmute yourself. Yeah, students, request you to reply. Poonam Gaude.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, please explain me what is logic.
Uh,
Okay, in normal terms, what do you mean by logic? We use logic many a times, right?
yes, ma'am.
Now, what is that logic?
Ma'am, idea behind.
Idea.
Uh,
Any other any other meaning of it? Logic? Hmm? Many times we use this logic word, right?
yes, ma'am.
What is logic?
Strategy change.
It is nothing but a reason, right? Logic
Reason.
is a reason, a judgment, or it may be a sense, some sense, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So if you're collecting the data, it should make some sense, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Should be related to some reason. Okay. When you have a reason, then only you will try to collect the data, right?
Yes, ma'am.
When you collect the question papers, right? So you are collecting the data, which are the important questions which may come in the final examination. What is the logic behind that? Yeah, students, anyone can unmute and tell me what is the logic behind collecting the important questions
To pass, ma'am.
to pass in the examination, right? Okay, great. So you want to only pass,
To score or to
right?
pass.
Or to score in your final examination, you try to collect the important questions, right? So you do not want to read the entire syllabus. So what you will do is you will just limit yourself to certain questions and you will find out that these questions may appear in the examination. Based on that, you try to collect the data. You try to collect the data from the faculty, you try to collect the data from the question papers, you try to collect data from your seniors. Am I right? You try to collect data from your friends. Am I right? Okay. Once you have done this, right? Now you have to identify whether whatever questions you have identified as important, is it really important? Right? So now here you are not going to use any statistical tools. Am I right? Okay, so you have collected that particular information. You will ask a valid question to yourself whether I have collected this particular data. These are the important questions. Am I sure that these questions will come for the examination? So what you will do, you will try to take previous year's question paper and try to analyze whether these questions have already appeared, how many times it has appeared. Now that is what you are analyzing. Now that is what the second point is, analytics. Please try to measure, right? Now what is that measure? You have sufficient data, you are in your hand, you have already read it, okay, and then you try to identify which are more important, most important, less important, how many times they have appeared, right? You try to analyze it and you try to identify, yes, this particular year these questions will 100 out of 100 questions you will identify or you will analyze that this particular year, for this particular syllabus, for this particular batch, 100% these questions may appear, around 90 or maybe 60 questions may appear. That is what you have measured. And then finally, when you have the question paper in your hand, you try to solve those questions which you have already read and you have analyzed. Okay, that is what is nothing but called as process. You are managing your knowledge. Is it clear? A very simple example I've given here, but the same may not work out in the organization. Everything is measured, okay, everything is calculated. There are a lot of tools which are being used. So that's what we say, when you're collecting the data, you collect the data based on some logic, and then you identify that particular data, collect that particular data, analyze that particular data, and then measure that particular data. Once you have analyzed, you analyzed and kept that particular data, you will be using it whenever it is required, and based on that you are going to see to it that you have effective knowledge management. That means you create a very good culture, values, and influence in the organization. You try to implement the process, right process in your functions of the HR, right? So that's what we say is the LAMP framework. Okay. Now coming down to next framework, that is HCM 21 framework. HCM stands for Human Capital Management. Okay. So here, human capital management is the framework of logic that is used to gather, organize, and interpret data, and subsequently also knowledge for the purpose of assessing the probability of upcoming events. Please understand, students, here. It is a framework of logic. Again, reason comes here. That is used to gather. You're going to gather the data, organize the data, interpret the data, and subsequently gain knowledge through that particular data. Okay. For what? For the purpose of assessing the probability of upcoming events. Okay. So it helps to overcome a reliance on past data and obsolete experience, and replace it with insights regarding the future and tools for influencing it. This is called managing tomorrow today. Okay. HCM 21 framework is called as managing tomorrow today. Fine. So this model basically was first used in 2008, and it has been very successful under the name HCM 21, right? So it is 21 is nothing but 21st century. So it is defined as framework of logic meant to gather, organize, interpret data so that it predicts the future. Okay. So this was developed over 18 months with 20 organizations, including Target Stores, Oracle, Accenture, Monster, Blue Shield, Ceridian, Success Factor, and Scarlett Surveys, right? So this is how the HCM framework came into existence. So the payoff for business that use the HCM 21 predictive analytics system includes consistent high returns on human capital investment. So what is the payoff for the companies which are using HCM 21 predictive analytics? They have consistently high return on human capital investment, fully engaged employees, and ability to lead while everyone else is frantically applying past market practices. Okay. So that's what we say is HCM 21 framework. Okay. So here it is nothing but a strategic, it executes a strategic scan of external forces and internal factors that can affect the three fundamentals of organization, that is human, structural, and relationship. So human capital is your employees. Structural capital is the things you own, ranging from patents, copyright, softwares, codified processes, physical facilities, equipments, etc. And relational capital is knowledge and contacts you have with external stakeholders, which includes everyone who is in touch with your organization. So the list can be quite long. Okay, so this affects these three areas, that is human, structural, and relational. Okay, so this is nothing but HCM21 model. Now, if you could see here, HCM21 model includes scan, plan, produce, and predict. Scan is nothing but what you're going to scan: the human, structural, and relational. As I said here, human is nothing but the employees. You're going to scan your employees. You're going to scan the structure capital. That is nothing but the patents, the copyright, the software programs, the codified processes, physical facilities and equipments, what you have in your organization, and the relation, that is the external stakeholders. Okay, you're going to scan all these three, and then you're going to plan. Now, what you're going to plan here: capabilities of the organization, engagement level of the employees, and development opportunities for the organization. Then you try to produce. Now, what you're going to produce? You try to produce optimum results. Okay, you try to integrate the people and you try to synchronize the developmental process. And then you go in for predicting. Now, what you're going to predict? Strategic, operating, and leading indicators. How can I lead in future? Now, that's what we say, that is done through algorithms. Any doubts, students? Am I clear? Am I clear, students? Any doubts? Okay. In detail, if we go in HCM framework 21. So scanning is nothing but it goes in for scanning all the external market forces and internal organizational factors which are listed in terms of how they might affect the organization's human, structure, and relational capital. So additionally, the interdependencies and interactions across these three forms of capital are recognized and accounted for. So this is critical and often ignored point. Okay. So when we speak about the human capital, it is nothing but the process of acquiring, training, managing, retaining the employees for them to contribute effectively in the process of the organization. So in other words, it is upgrading the existing skills of the employees and extracting the best out of them. It is nothing but human capital management. Okay. Now, that is what we say here. It goes on to build in relationship with the human, structural, and relational, and see to it that how it affects the organization. So HCM system basically facilitates identifying talent, recruiting employable candidates, managing employees payroll, benefit administration, overseeing the performance review process, enabling the employees to advance themselves, grow their skills and through internal training, and provide job opportunities and facilitating collaborations among the employees, right? So that's what we could see here. So basically, when we speak about the HCM21 framework, the next point is planning. Planning is nothing but workforce planning is reconstituted as capability development. So here, industrial era gap analysis, structured focus model is replaced with agile system focused on building sustainable human capabilities rather than filling the positions. In fact, many of these older positions will be restructured and eliminated. Now, if you could see, many of the jobs are old jobs or traditional jobs are being eliminated, and everything is, everything is reorganized, or if you could say re-engineered, right? So things have changed. A lot of job positions have changed. A lot of jobs have changed. A lot of systems have changed, right? So if you could see here, planning becomes very inevitable, right? So you have to go in for planning, right? So what you're going to plan here, one is identifying the capabilities, right? What is the present strength of the organization, right? What is the weakness of the organization? How can I cover the weakness of the organization. What type of people I need to recruit in the organization? How can I train my employees in my organization? Then motivating the employees, keeping them engaged in the organization, development opportunities for the organization as well as for the employees, right? Now coming on to next, that is producing. Okay, producing is nothing but it is a process with inputs, throughputs and outputs. Okay, so statistical analysis is applied to uncover the most cost effective combinations of inputs, throughputs and to to drive desired outputs. Now here producing, when you speak about producing, as I said, optimizing or utilizing the human resource or what available resources within the organization to the optimum level, right? Integrate all the resources together, right? Integrate the external as well as internal factors and synchronize to produce. Okay, so then afterwards predicting, that is 3-point measurement system, is designed to include strategic, operational and leading indicators. So causal and correlational aspect of 3 points are used to tell comprehensive story. Okay, now what are these 3 points? Strategic, operating and leading indicators. Okay, strategic indicators, operating indicators and leading indicators. You are going to predict about the future, right? So model, as I said, was developed in 2018, right? And it is called as HCM, Human Capital Management for the 21st century. HCM 21 is Human Capital Management for the 21st century, right? So president of Scarlett Surveys International, is a major contributor for in the engagement piece of HCM 21, right? Then very nicely being put forth here. GAAP, I hope you all know what is GAAP, right? And then going for planning, that is marketing, customer relationship management, and then going for MRP, okay, and then ERP, Infotech ERP, that is nothing but predicting the future. Okay, now coming on to employee value proportion here, right? So basically when we speak about employee capabilities, you have to go in for employee value proportionate. So I want a job, I want a fair pay, I wish I had benefits. Okay, I want to learn more to grow in the organization, I want to feel like belonging to the organization, I love working for you. Okay, that is nothing but profitability. Now here you need to identify what type of people you have in your organization, what are the capabilities of people you have in the organization. Now this is what you require, meaningful work, that is I love working for you. Okay, then coming on to talentship framework, in that you have the pivot talent pools, that are the vital targets for HR investment and leader attention. Okay, now here in talentship framework, this is a new science of human capital that requires a decision framework, that is management system integration, a shared mental model data, measurement and analysis focus on the optimization. So it basically focuses on the optimization. Okay, so talentship is nothing but, as I said, a decision framework. Till now, whatever frameworks we are seeing, students, it is nothing but a framework for decision making within the organization. Okay, so that's what we could say here. A talentship framework is a new science of human capital which requires decision framework, management system integration, shared mental model, then data and measurement and analysis of that particular data, and then focusing on the optimization of the data. So in several companies, we have labeled it as talentship because it focuses entirely on the decision that improves the stewardship of the hidden and apparent talent of the employees, right? So talentship framework, the particular person, that is Broadway HC Bridge, provide a value map connecting investment activities and business success. So the purpose of this model is to provide a framework to articulate the logical connections between investment, change in nature or deployment of workforce talent and sustainable strategic success. So what is your investment on the manpower, on the functions of HR, changes in the nature of the business, changes in the development of the workforce talent, and the sustainable strategic success what you have achieved. These three things are articulated in this particular framework. So framework involves three stages, that is impact, effectiveness, and efficiency. Now when we speak about impact, it is nothing but equivalent to impact step in the HCM value chain. Now when we speak about effectiveness, it is nothing but equivalent to output in the HCM value chain. Then when we speak about including input, efficiency, it is nothing but including input process measures from the HCM value chain. Now this is what we could say talentship framework, right? So planning is the anchor point when I say impact, effectiveness, and efficiency, right? So here when we speak about efficiency, we go in for planning proper HR practices, proper investment decisions, okay? When it relates to the functions of HR, investment in the functions of HR. When we speak about effectiveness, again, it speaks about HR practices, human capital, what you are having at present, aligned actions, what you take, and the talent pool, what you have. When you speak about impact on the business, it speaks about the talent pools, what you have, business processes, sustainable strategic advantages. Okay, so here the linking elements and the anchor points of the talentship framework. So HC Bridge framework of talentship. Okay, so when we speak about this HC Bridge work, it is given in detail here. Efficiency is nothing but policies and practices and investment, what to acquire, how to allocate. What to acquire, that means what type of talent you are going to acquire in the organization, what type of policies you are going to acquire in the organization, what type of practices you are going to acquire in the organization, and how you allocate the duties and responsibilities, how you allocate the policies and practices, how you allocate the budget which is being given. That is what comes in efficiency. Then coming down to effectiveness, it is nothing but interaction, culture, and capacity, that is cooperation between the employees, right? And what programs to implement. Then when we speak about impact, it is nothing but how does decisions impact and how to use the decisions. Okay. Then 5 overarching components of an effective analytics framework we'll look into in the next class. I hope till here it is being understood. Any doubts are there, please request you to message me on my personal WhatsApp number. I'll reply you personally. If you have any difficulty, I'll explain it to you once again. But see to it that you understand it and revise it. Clear? Any questions, students? You are having any questions of regarding today's class?
Ma'am,
Yeah.
ma'am, can you explain talentship framework in very short?
Yeah, talentship framework, it is nothing but it is a new science of human capital. Human capital, I hope you understood what is a human capital. It is nothing but the people who are working in the organization, right? The resource, it is seen as a resource. Human capital is seen as a resource in the organization. So it is a new science of human capital that requires a decision framework, okay, which integrates. Now, if you could see here, what exactly this talentship framework includes. It is including management system integration, how the management systems integrate with each other, a shared mental model, okay, the data what is being collected about the talent of the employees, okay, about the HR functions being implemented, measurement and analysis of all those things, and optimization of the talent which is there in the organization. Talentship framework is nothing but, in short, decisions which are taken at the right time based on the data what you are having, which utilizes the talent of the organization, identifies the talent and utilizes the talent of the organization in an optimum way to give growth to the employees as well as to the organization. Got it?
Yes,
So
ma'am, got it.
basically, from so many days, what HR used to do is they just used to collect the data from the performance management, identify their performance, identify who are better performers, who are low performers, train them, and then see to it that they perform better, try to give much contribution towards the growth of the organization, but nothing was calculated, nothing was measured. Okay, so analytics came into picture here with so many tools. Now this is one of the tool here. Okay, this particular tool gives a framework on how you can take a decision in an organization based on managing talent within your organization, so as you optimize or you put it to the optimal use and you bring in growth to the organization. That's it. Okay.
Yeah, okay, ma'am.
Okay, any confusions again, Tanvi?
No, ma'am.
Okay, great. Yeah, yeah. I'll just try to put it in a very simple way in the notes so that you can easily understand it. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Anyone else who has a doubt? Any other students who have doubt? Can I end the class? Right. If you have any doubts, if you do not want to ask here, my dear students, you can please message me on my WhatsApp number. Okay. Right.